Ooh, that's a 2-hour long video. Ooh, oofa doofa.
God, fucking damn. I have the picture here, like on the broad. Wait. Nope, that is shit. This is how you beat me. I lose my mind looking for an image, which isn't even 100% accurate. I mean, I guess it's sort of accurate because there's cats in it.
The Spy Master loves cats. I love this person.
If I could find the fucking image.
The fucking image.
There's Marshall Medius's inspiration. Pavel, Nikolai. So Max, here something to keep you interested in the time I'm looking. There's Maximilian's picture.
Who's Maximilian?
Oh my gosh.
So Maximilian Michaelovich the First.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
I have no idea who it is.
Holy shit.
He's great. Can I just like drop this from like?
Just drop his token and just make it.
No,
big.
no. I'm like, can I just? Yeah, no. Can I do that? Yeah, for.
Yeah, you
no,
should be
it's
able
like
to.
it's awkwardly like size, like it's tiny.
Oh,
You
if
can
you hold
readjust it.
Alt, yeah, if you
Well,
hold
no,
Alt, you can adjust it for
like it gives a low quality version of it. When I stretch it, it's like shit.
Wunderbar.
I swear to God, this is actually one of the times where I don't have the picture in the folder. I will actually die. All right, give me a second. This is actually triggering me. This is actually pissing me off now. Of all the things I have put in this folder, there's so many unnecessary NPC images in here for a bunch of NPCs.
But you don't have the gosh darn diddly Spy Master.
Yeah, the one I have for like this since the very beginning isn't in here.
This is marvelous.
Let's see, there's archers, there's bishops.
Oh, it's just Fred saying he has to go to sleep.
Ooh, let me see bishops.
You've seen bishops before, I think. Alright, if I don't find it within this run, I'm going
Vampire Hunter cares? Yes. This is exactly Kyr's new outfit.
Nope. No.
Oh, but I can show you Kyr's outfit for the adventure that I've made.
Please, when I get that chance. That top hat stays on.
The Outlanders.
Kyr's new outfit.
No. Kestrels. Noths.
Here it is. Wait, wrong folder, but whatever.
Man, why do you look like a tap? Never mind. I almost asked a stupid question.
I need to know what the question was now.
I was gonna ask why you look like a tavern wench, but that was because you were a tavern wench.
It's not a tavern wench style. I have a different
That is.
tavern.
You see how there's no cloth on those shoulders?
Even that was okay. That is because I
Tavern
wanted to.
wench.
Yes, but it's a leather armor.
Okay, apparently I actually don't
It's
have
like
it in
the
this
leather
folder.
shoes as well. I still have to recolor it.
It's in this folder.
But yeah, they're not so black anymore. I mean, maybe they'll go back. We will see. It depends on how sad I am.
Just saying. Google this immediately. First thing that pops up.
Fuck off.
Okay, well,
You hustled yourself.
It's actually not in here, so
Damn, son.
I will give you the
Just
shitty image.
describe her.
Nah, pictures are 1,000 words.
Rest in peace forever, miss.
Alright, so give us 1,000 words then.
1001.
Fucking god.
Tell us the
Now,
motivation.
not even dragging it out is working. Now, like dragging the bad image out isn't even working. That just
Damn.
makes me sad.
What about
Yeah,
a
that just makes me
screenshot?
sad. You're a goddamn you're a genius. Goddamn genius. I know that.
Do you ever wonder what
Wait,
this
I can
is?
open the image directly in a new tab from the. Oh.
You fool.
There you go. So yeah, Spy Master.
It was a
Oh
chick!
my god.
But,
I knew it was
shit,
a
that's a lot of
girl!
cats. Why do they have so
I
many
love
cats?
I don't know. The picture just came with a lot of cats, right?
You assume that's even what she looks like, really.
Do they have
That's
cats
also
with
fair.
them?
That could be a disguise within a disguise over a magic.
I mean, most likely.
So yeah, out comes the supposed spy master.
You're just gonna always say supposed spy master, aren't you?
Off goes. Ah. The spy master just looks at him. He just sort of dies away as the spy master looks at him.
Yeah, but like, does she actually have all those cats with her?
No,
Please.
No.
Then she's not so cool.
it's hard to be on the move with a bunch of cats.
That's
Especially-
quitters talk.
Not if you're determined.
But they
Not if you don't want to, get captured and tortured and die. But hey, anyways,
But the cats.
so yeah,
purr.
the spy master looks at Knopf and then and he dies away. And she looks at all of you. Hello, everyone. This is the royal spy master. Aforementioned missing.
Good to see you're alive, ma'am.
Chairman just nods. It's like, hello.
She steps deeper into the room, and Connor, Knopf, and then Cedric sort of take position left, right behind. Escort detail. She gives all of you a look. To be perfectly honest, if I was acting on my own character judgments alone, most of you wouldn't be here.
Oh yes, very fair.
Not surprised.
And if I had any sort of judgment, I would not be here either.
Oh yes, very fair again.
Funnily enough, you are one of the ones I would keep. But I guess I should change that judgment. You guys are only here because I am trusting him, and she points at Duncan. And I hope you're all worthy of the respect. I'm not one to mince words, not for my agents or commanders or anything. I've dealt with worse, and I've dealt with better. So let me lay it out perfectly clear for all of you. You are all a part of a counter-conspiracy conspiracy.
Just gets the blankest of looks.
Yeah, even I get that.
Chairman just waits for
Those-
more explanation.
The names we gave you are people that are working against the state. And before you think it's some sort of noble, righteous rebellion sort of group like Insensig and the damn elves, that is not the case. The reason to believe that is they just want one simple thing, and that is absolute domination. As well as other otherworldly goals. And I can see and tell and hear that you've already met one of their agents. She gives like a pointed look at Seema, but Seema's not here, so just ignore it.
Wait. So the dude is not the pure evil? He's just a pawn of it?
Evil is a subjective term, cares Cromwell.
The prerogative of mortals.
The prerogative of those that care for morality.
Hmm.
I don't have time to care about that.
Aldrich nods approvingly.
Pawn is also a subjective term, and it would be incorrect in my own opinion. He might be a lapdog, he might be the runner of this conspiracy group, but make no mistake, that does not mean his importance in it is little. I heard your conversation back in the room. If you're wondering about the previous 2 times he's died, I can tell you all about him. It was my agents that did so. Well, mine as in the Spy Masters. And she sneers.
It's a legacy sort of situation.
Wouldn't you like to know?
I set
What
that
can
one
we
up so
address you
easily.
Should we just call you like Spy Master or?
You can call me Alex.
That's a nice name.
Alex of the Heartlands.
Hey,
I'm not from the Heartlands.
got it.
And neither is he. And she casts a thumb over and off. And he like sort of just he's like looking away.
I just like do a stab into hard motion.
He sort of whistles still. I'm afraid our information about the actuality of the Shadow Man is immensely limited. His circumstances of death, I can tell you. If you're curious.
Immensely.
Very much so.
She closes her eyes, takes a deep breath, and opens them again. With like a 1,000-yard stare. Looking at something that's not there. Original name, unknown. Origin, Nevros. Occupation, Nevros Battle Mage. Age, Ancient Olden. Aptitude, Trickery, Deception, Magic. Appearance description, jagged features. Survivor witnesses account that he has normally provincial brown eyes, which change into a vision of pure darkness when he joins battle in earnest. She blinks a couple more times. Background. The Watch's information of the man is scarce, and what scarce amounts of it are available are from untrustable sources that regard myth. The few concurrent details that we find both believable and credible are that the Shadow Man, as he's referred to, is a normal mage of some sort who has made some fell pact for eternal life. It is unknown whether this equates to simple eternal youth or actual invulnerability, but an invulnerable being would likely be more proactive, unless they're pointedly trying to stay quiet, which is a more concerning factor. Regardless, the man seems mortal enough and has involved himself in mortal affairs, especially that here in Mirandus. She blinks a couple more times. It becomes very obvious. She's reciting to you like a dossier from her mind. Or the watch, or whatever.
Yeah, she's essentially doing like the Sherlock thing where she goes into a mansion in her head. It's like, ah, here's that file.
When it comes to motivations, that is seemingly clear, for he is always reported as being on the Nevros side, dotting around and across the entirety of the watch's existence. He seems to be arrogant and sure of himself, both physically, tactically, and magically, and has proven his aptitude more than a few times, according to reports. A few missions at locating and neutralizing him have been ordered over time. The first reported back that no such being exists, and the mission was called off. When he was next seen, the mission was reenacted, however, at a much later point. The watch team reported that it may be possible to find him in the north, but it'd be... Yeah. Let me repeat that. This is me as Crash. The watch team reported that while it may be possible to find him in the north, that it'd be easier to wait for him to strike and pursue him from there. The team was recalled, and the newly detailed mission was assigned to a differently specialized watch team, marking the third mission. The third team was able to successfully eliminate the target, and after pursuing him, when he had joined a battle he had commanded. However, many years later, he was reported again, alive. After a series of inquiries and redesignations on the individual, the team was dispatched to try out more about him from the Nevros themselves, as well as potentially locate whatever hideout he may have. She smiles a bit, sneering. However, due to the missing status of the royal the venerated, the team was recalled. She blinks her eyes and looks at you. I assure you there's nothing special about the ways we dealt with him. The classic blade, blood, arrows, magic.
do we make him stay dead?
That is a very good question. I'm afraid neither I nor the Watch can have the answer to that.
You kill the part of him that resurrects.
I would personally look into similarly aligned beings to the void, things that come back when they die, and then investigate from those. Find similarities.
Is it the same body?
What do you mean?
Jennifer just kind of like snaps out because she was kind of like gazing off in the distance. Is it the same physical being? Like, is the body regenerating, the soul going back to that, or is his being just moving to somewhere else?
An interesting factor to consider. I think you should investigate it.
What if we could take his magic away? Like, what happened to you?
Oof.
Maybe not mention that one.
Why not? That seems like the best plan.
I mean,
Tactically, it makes sense.
Tactically, it makes sense, and is likely something he'll be accounting for. You're not fighting a stagnant target, I remind all. He is learning just as much about you now than you are about him.
Speaking of allies similarly aligned, before we had our conversation, we were contacted by someone who wanted something very urgently. They may contact us again soon.
Oh,
So
I
let's
felt
wait
like
here.
just him.
The Stardust Wayshipper, yes.
Well, normally I would advise against operating with fell gods. I'm also a person that will do anything it takes. If you think this fell god can be of use to you, I advise you to use them. You see that this gets like a negative glare from Ariana. And without even looking at Ariana, the spy master, I am well aware of your affinity towards the true gods, head cleric. But desperate times call for desperate measures, as I'm sure you're well aware.
Okay, so what are we supposed to do?
For the time being, she looks at Duncan, we'll be trying to figure out a way to get all of us past the spires. Obviously, you purging their little epidemic problem will help greatly in that. Furthermore, I would recommend you guys begin picking one of them, Seekers or Slayers. Helping both of them is counterintuitive. I assure you, if you're not already aware, there's a rivalry between the two. And of how things are going right now, and from what I'm hearing of this lockdown that's going to happen within the next hour or so, they're going to be at each other's throats.
Why?
So,
What's going on?
dude.
A fell assassin appeared in the middle of the street even after quarantine lockdown Seekers. Fell gods be rising, child.
It should also be noted that they failed, but...
Exactly. It doesn't take a particularly tactful mind to figure Slayers are please. They only follow the Seekers because of judgment. And the Seekers are meant to be the ones with better tools, training, and capability of assigning better judgment. But if that judgment fails, that just leaves the Seekers to appease the masses. Mages will likely not be safe. Anyone that has even the hint of infection will not be safe. And I imagine more corrupt people will begin selling out their friends to make sure that no infection happens. If you worship any fell gods, and she looks at you, Aldrich, I would recommend making sure no one hears a word of it.
I nod.
Wait, but it was our fault that they got in here.
And do you think
Where-
people know that?
We should tell them.
No,
It's
we
not-
should definitely
No.
not tell anyone.
If you wish a witch hunt on your heads, then
The Seekers can't do anything if we brought this in here.
He would have
Did
came
you-
in no matter how he wanted to. He came in with you, didn't he?
That is a slight misconception, Cares. Messikala or Shadowman, Reaper Being, whatever, would have struck at us no matter where we are. The rest of whatever's going on in here is not necessarily on us. The infection, everything else.
But they will lob it on us if they can find a scapegoat.
Precisely.
Exactly. See, you're politically minded after all, despite what you said back in Sinda.
This is just...
I mean, I've heard of the infection. A lot of people have talked about it. I mean, some people think it's just a lie, made up, trying to prove a point.
Some people think many things. I'm sure those same people will now think that one of the sides let a fell god assassin in to prove a point further. Don't be so limited in the outlook, especially when we're on the side that knows the truth. So as I've said, pick a side, because trying to help them both speaks badly. Because then they'll start wondering, why are you trying to help both sides? Who are you trying to brown nose and bribe? And then both sides get doubly suspicious.
Was the... this is out of game. Was the guy that took Cares and my magic on the Seekers or the Slayer side?
The Executor is independent.
Independent? Okay.
I was about to say neither.
Yeah.
I figured, but I didn't 100% know what I wanted to know.
No, that's fair. It's a fair question. The Executors... The Twins isn't the only place that has Executors in technicality, although obviously the ones that use them. The Executors aren't in technicality a part of the City Watch. They're a position in it. And similar how Connor is an alchemical specialist for the Royal Guard, the Executors anti-mage specialists in the
Gotcha.
City Watch.
Okay, good to know.
So who do we side with?
That is entirely up to you. I personally don't care. The Seekers are capable, but the strength does truly lie with the Slayers if we're trying to keep things civil.
Mira is a Seeker, right?
Slayer.
Yes.
Or, I thought they were a Slayer.
She's a seeker.
No,
She's
that's...
a Seeker.
Yeah,
She's
no.
a very out-of-place Seeker. She's
Yeah,
much
yeah,
more Slayer
Fred-
than a Seeker.
Fred made that seeking joke last time. I remember that now.
Yeah, then we're going definitely Seeker. I'm keeping my girl alive.
It seems to me that the seekers might be rather desperate for help right now.
Likely. I would guarantee you this, that on this very day, they lost a massive amount of public support. And there's a reason that the Seekers and Slayers have two separate spires, I assure you.
It seems to me that they deserve to lose that.
Perhaps. But I'm not here for deservedness, retribution, or vengeance. I'm here to get things done. And as I've said, we need to get south. Without losing the twins to fell gods, I might add. Any shifting here in town will likely affect the court in Dovros. So whatever you do, I recommend you do it pointedly and quickly. Because I assure you both sides are belligerent and stupid enough to pull their support from the quarantine zone to prove a point. And then, no doubt, both of them will believe that even without the other side's help, they'll be able to re-contain it.
Which they won't.
Which they won't. See, you're politically minded as well.
It's a
I
snowball
believe
effect.
we have something to discuss then.
They're fools.
I would like to point something out as well, that arrangements were made for our accommodation at the City Hall. If we are not
Correct.
at City Hall, in the aftermath of that, people might start asking the wrong kinds of questions.
Also correct.
How long have we been here?
At this point,
After the talks, debriefing,
An hour?
like, yeah, 50 minutes, 45, 50 minutes, pushing an hour, yeah. Not terribly long, but obviously in the time.
Noticeably.
At the same time, there is a certain excuse you can make of the utter anarchy right now, so therefore
Yeah.
it slowed your movement.
Also, they were trying to murder us, so...
May want to leave that part out.
Actually, yeah, yeah.
I've contacted both the Seekers and the Slayers' upper echelons. Just tell me which side to pick, and I'll begin leaning. As I've said, we need one side to open the gates.
The Seekers.
The Seekers it is, then.
I
Seekers.
agree with the Seekers.
Yeah.
If it
we
comes to
already-
blow, I would much rather fight the Slayers.
Fair enough.
The Seekers are also the better bet in my own personal opinion, so I'm happy, and she smiled, cares, that you pick so.
we also
At the
have
end
a
of the
foot
day,
in
we
door.
are trying to reach at the capital. And the Slayers might be good at killing things, but so can the Royal Guard. The Seekers are unique.
Raw power versus strategy.
And knowing the land.
Mhm.
So,
We
I'll
have
inform you of the long-term goals later. Short-term goals, help one of the sides. And preferably clear your names, or at least don't bring any more suspicion down upon yourselves. Enough? Make yourself available for him. He does a salute. Aye, aye, Spy Master. I have a feeling that, and she looks at the squad and then off, who were marked individuals in terms of visual identification. So keep yourself scarce. Yes, ma'am. And now all of you are as well. And she says, looking at you guys, to some degree.
I'm afraid I don't
So we
understand.
need a disguise then. I see. I'm gonna grab my shirt.
The ultimate disguise. A fucking shirt.
There is points for a disguise, yes, but there is also points for public appearance.
I have it like half on. I'm
Just put the shirt on.
That being said, don't let what I say dissuade you from doing things. Things still need to get done, and I don't particularly imagine you want to dove roast with its infection underprepared.
Do we need anything in particular to like not get infected?
I would recommend consulting your way shaper
Yeah, I lost that one.
or the Seekers. To be perfectly honest, I was talking with my Tavish here, and we were wondering if those marks you had might have prevented your infection, seeing as you already were. But obviously, it's a moot point now that they're gone.
I never had a mark.
Not you, them.
Yeah, but
You're traveling with the Shadowman. If he wanted you to get here, he probably would have just made it not happen.
no, I meant I wasn't infected either.
For any number of reasons.
I'm just saying the theory doesn't hold up.
The theory
you could
holds
just
up
listen.
because you were not marked.
If you were marked and you're already counted as infected by the Seeker's sensor, the same infection that they were trying to detect from Devros, you'd be something of walking healthy carriers.
Oh.
But now that you're queen, that doesn't mean you're carrying anything now. So something new can latch onto you. That's our theory, at least. And she looks at Connor. That being said, I think it'd be better if you guys weren't marked in the first place. And he casts a quick glance at Cedric behind him. Wait a second. If people that are marked infected is enough. He looks at Cedric. Can we just send him? One man to coin an entire town. While I have utmost faith in the guild agent, I'd rather send more. Especially if we know there's an assassin. Fair enough. That being said, a guild assassin is a very helpful asset. Agent Aurelius? He didn't say anything, he just clicks his feet against each other. I might have you run recon in the coming days. Hear his helmet as he nods. But we wasted enough time on this. I believe you guys have appearances to keep at City Hall.
Quick question to everyone in the room. Does anyone know where the Gallagher town is?
Yay!
Cavill definitely wouldn't know. Ariana.
I mean, she grew up near it, ish.
I guess. Why does it say Owen still? That's Ariana. No. Let's see. I already rolled for Connor way back.
The
watch it. Let's see. Watch Agent Nomad, aka Noth. Doesn't have history trained, so therefore he doesn't get to. No. But he is a bard. Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, he is a bard.
Like disadvantage.
Oh wait, would I know it then?
That is the point. They've never seen it.
I've never heard of the thing, the name.
That's true. Yeah, roll your history.
Background knowledge or history?
It's history.
It's history. I'm actually trained in history. Look at that.
There you go.
Not trained in.
Spy Master Alex is trained in history as well, amongst a number of other things.
It's the Spy Master. What the fuck did you expect? They're skill monkey.
Not
Also,
trained
there's
in.
too much shit to think about.
Priorities.
The Spy Master, just so you guys know, is a mastermind.
Mastermind
rogue.
Okay.
Yep. Very fit.
So many rogues.
I mean, so many rogues.
There's like 3. Well, at least 2 of them.
What? Who's the other rogue other than
Cedric.
And Valeska? Yeah, but that's because they're sneaky people. Although Scout Rogue is honestly more of a fighter than a rogue, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
Gallagher. No. The DC was it? It was above 20.
Damn. Son.
Fuck.
Got some good rolls, not good enough.
I mean, sort of, I guess. Like, not good rolls.
I mean, 2 of them were good, okay.
Yeah? I'm about to say, like, statistically. Yeah, but you have a +5, so the roll itself wasn't that great.
Mishka is from there. I was hoping to return the child. Well, if we can't find the city...
Mishka's, like, behind Pavel's... Like, she just sort of leaned behind it. Yes. A lost child.
Well, if we don't know where the city is, perhaps we can figure out where the tree is.
The Seekers will definitely have a record of it.
Yeah,
There's a number of things the Seekers know that they don't make publicly known. I should know. I have a lot of experience with them. Oh, and in case it wasn't obvious, and she looks at Mark, don't let people know I'm here. And don't let people know you're in contact with the Watch.
I don't know who you are.
I am Alex of the Heartland, she says with a very obviously sarcastic smile.
We were never here anyway.
That's
It's a nice company.
Oh, Alex, how are you doing?
What do you mean?
Well, I'm sure it's been tough. I mean, you know, the whole situation.
The person I've sworn to serve was killed under my own watch in the most properly, safely guarded place in the entirety of the provinces, and I have been forced into a runway fearing assassins and torturers. I've had better days.
Yeah.
I was listening in on your conversation in the room. And she looks at you, goes, having people to go back to is very important to Cares. People that could defend you, I might add. I know of your family in the Heartlands, and as capable as some of them might be, I don't think any of them could face what you're facing alive. So I suggest you consider their own well-beings and not use them as a shield. And instead, and she looks at the rest of the group, pick people who might be more apt, and those are equally willing to just die for the sake of dying. She says with a sarcastic smile.
That honestly was more creepy than assuring.
She's reading shit at me like a fucking book. Jeez.
She is the spy master, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Noff? The rest of adversary, where are they? Should be regrouping here within the hour. Get ready for another endeavor out. Oh, fucking. Alright, try to grab some grub while I can. And he goes back into the room down the hallway that he just left. The work never ends for the watch. Enough never ends. She turns to the rest of you. And speaking of work, I believe you all.
Yeah, so just to like reinstate the obvious, what's our job?
Help the Seekers and Slayers with their issue in Davros, and be sure you're not going into it empty-handed or underprepared. Infections that require quarantine haven't happened in a while. And obviously, this is something of a special case, considering your present opponent. So, gear up. Find some way of making sure you don't get infected in the process. I'd recommend looking at the vector reaction. Find out how it's transmitted. It might help, or it might be fruitless.
Could you repeat the term vector something you cut out for me?
Vector of transmission.
Vector. Oh, yeah, that thing. Okay.
Connor is staying in the city hall with you, so don't doubt being instrumental. And then, when you guys are ready, come back here. I'll be sending out some, maybe all parts of Watch Team Adversary as well. Here, I'm going to.
Listen.
And Agent Valeska. Yes.
Alex, no disrespect, but I never stop being dramatic.
Dramatic. If it's your public image, then keep being dramatic. What you do and don't do is as important as the other. Can you imagine? Think of it like this. Look at the lieutenant over there, and she points at Pavel. He's always nice and jovial. Imagine him when he's not, after you know that he's normally nice and jovial. It says a different message, doesn't it? Use that to your advantage.
Gotcha.
There is always a point for dramatics. There's a point for everything for the more creative minds. But debriefing is done, and she turns on heel and begins walking down the hallway.
Pleasure meeting you.
Good luck.
She stops in the middle of the hallway and turns around. I so desperately desire you all. And she continues walking.
You cut out the middle of the whole thing.
I so desperately desire for you all to prove me wrong. leaves and slips around a corner. Not bad. What's it called? In a good mood. Is that right? Duncan shrugs. Good, bad moods for her are hard to discern.
I think she was nice.
I'm wondering if her expectation of you is so low. Not gonna lie, I was like that when we first met, so you guys have proven me wrong so far.
A bar
Let's see if
set
you can
low
work
is
up the
easier. Sorry, a bar set low is easier to jump over.
True. That being said, the Spy Master is very good at setting accurate bars. But again, I like to think I do as well, but you've proven me wrong. So, let's get to City Hall then, eh?
Onwards. Yeah.
Onwards.
Good God.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think we proved him wrong.
I mean, when it comes
you
to
prove
keeping
him
a schedule,
wrong.
no.
No, keep it a schedule. You proved him wrong. Yes, you have proven him very wrong. Just not in a good way.
Yeah, just
We
like
end the session here because honestly, I ended this a while ago, but you proved me wrong too. And
no, we're good at proving you wrong in like the way that we lower your expectations even.
yeah.
It's like,
So
congratulations,
I
I'm
don't know what
surprised. It was a bad thing.
Us, I'm gonna be honest.
Now I can sit back down. So yeah, that's the session. You guys met Royal Spy Master Alex of the Heartland.
That's definitely
She's
not their name.
adorable. I love her.
She used to be an immensely I was thinking initially of making her an elf, I was like,
That'd been
would
fun.
the king allow an elf as their spy master of the human provinces? But yeah, that didn't end up happening, and that got derived into an. But yeah, the spy master used to be immensely androgynous to the point, pointedly so that they could trick people. But then I was like, why would the spy master meet with anyone directly? that's what doubles are for. So yeah, that's what ended up happening.
I love her. She's basically Gears can be the spy master.
No.
No, you care too much to be the spy master.
No.
The only person here that would maybe have a chance is Aldrich, and no, still.
I mean, evil, again, is a very subjective term to the spy master. She's ordered worse. And she doesn't care. At the end of the day, it's all reported on her desk and numbers on a statistical sheet.
Wow.
Like an economist.
Like a what now?
Economist.
Okay, yeah, my brain just didn't want to hear that word for a second. Okay.
No, I have a lot of inspiration for Spy Master, because as an economist, I love being evil.
Amazing.
No, I'm in a class right now in which the professor is like, the first day is like, okay, poverty, dead children, suffering. If you cry at any of those things, you shouldn't take this class, because that's exactly what we're going to be talking about.
Wow.
So I was like, yo, professor, I'm a soulless asshole over here. Sign me up. And it's my favorite class this quarter, so...
I have never been happier.
If we're on our way to meet them, does that put us in any different position than we were before?
What do you mean? For the Spy Master?
Well, in terms of breaking off.
Oh, for the West Marches thing. Okay, yeah. I don't exactly have a set thing for this. I don't think I need to have a set thing. Obviously, it's situation by situation. But how it will work out. And Garth, you should mark down some time period on the VOD for this.
Oh, I'm still recording.
Okay.
Actually,
Yeah,
I'll stop and start again.